What up, traders? What up, investors? Ken here from the Dyslexic Investor, and we're going to be looking and driving down the Vegas Strip, looking at what casino stocks are a buy, are they a short, what are we looking at here? Are casino stocks a little too risky at this time to be diving into? We'll be going into discussion on what I currently traded within the casino stocks and so forth. So this is an article basically talking about potentially how casino stocks could fare out due to the fact of basically being between phase 1 and phase 2 with the economic reopening and the potential for them to be able to be part of that, and how is that going to look for all the tables and things like that. And of course, if you saw the thumbnail for the YouTube video, this is basically what it could look like, on everyone having to wear a mask, 6 feet apart, playing some table games here. So that is honestly a reality that we're living in right now that could potentially see how it looks like. That being said, a lot of these stocks have slightly recovered to this, like, some extent, but again, not all stocks are created equal in the sense of any kind of market. So let's go ahead and we'll jump into a couple of the holdings. We're going to be looking at like Sands, WYNN, MGM, Penn Gaming, and so forth. So let's go ahead and switch over. Let's go to MGM. So the reason I wanted to do this one first is this is the one that we actually traded. When it came down literally this day, I was like, there's no way this stock is just too cheap. I wanted to, again, I've never invested in any kind of casino stocks. This is more of like a trade. So I bought here around like $7, rode it up to 16 and sold out. Yeah, it's kind of been bouncing around here through and through, but potentially looking for lower prices, potentially looking at, again, the 21 exponential moving average is very key here. It's below that. It's well below the 200. Everything, all the moving averages are still sloping down here. Going to the next slide here, and I have the wrong setup here. Sorry, guys. I can change this real fast. This one might be MGM. There we go. Okay. So I kind of consolidated this chart down here for everyone. Again, still printing lower. Our parabolic SAR is still above it. It's trying to pop off here, but momentum needs to kind of kick up as momentum is going down. The squeeze is indicating down. RSI is kind of flat. Potentially, once this gets a little more negative in these aspects or these columns, this could be going down as well. Hitting some resistance here on the volume indicator. Looking this at a longer time frame, so MGM stock used to be $100. Wow. Again, that was right at before the financial crisis, and literally has not recovered since then. Kind of made a comeback to around what is this high, $38. But that being said, so a lot of things, the reports are saying that it's going to be different moving forward for everyone in the economy, and likely with so many businesses being changed and things like that, this is going to be an ongoing issue. So on the weekly chart, we are well below 21. The parabolic SAR has switched due to earnings coming out. Doesn't look like it was terrible, but it has sold off this past week. But it kind of recovered. You can see this really long candle wick here. Could be a potential swing higher. Again, not going to be investing in this. They looks like they did cut their dividend basically to zero. You're getting next to nothing. Usually pays out about a 15-cent dividend, but now there's next to nothing. That's being said, again, wouldn't want to be touching this. I would just be trading these just for trading purposes. All right, let's go jump to CZRs. CZRs is slightly better, as you can see here. It's above the 21 here on the daily chart, and it's near its 200. So I wanted to show you guys the wonderful power of Fibonacci Retracements. This is pretty strong resistance or support here at basically the $9 level. Potentially, if things go sour, if it fails trying to break above 1028, which is the 618 retracement. This could potentially come back down here, but this is going to be pretty strong support with the 21 and the 50% retracement here for a potential kick higher. So this would be a really good trade idea to potentially see a break above $10.28 to try to push to around $10.76 to $11 in the short term, and that is of course linked to the overall economy opening up. Looking more on a weekly basis, again, this has been restructured multiple times, so we can't see the 08-09 data, but hitting a high basically around the same time in 2014, around $26, and just kind of been trading sideways here and there. On the weekly chart, it's trying to break out here above the 21. It hasn't closed above it, but once it's able to close above the 21 on the weekly chart, again, that's going to be more significant to trying to break above the 200 moving average that we talked about, or the exponential moving average as well. So this is actually a very interesting stock to trade. So this is going to be one on my watch list. Next is going to be Penn National Gaming. So this company just bought, probably heard this, Barstool Sports, so they're going to be tying in with the different various things of sports betting, but again, there's no sports going on. The combination of being a little bit more diversified than other companies, which is key. That being said, this looks a lot like CZR that we just looked at. Kind of broke above the 21 here on the daily chart, but then kind of been riding it up again on the 21, just slowly grinding higher, trying to push above, try to get above that 200 exponential moving average there. So this kind of falls, oh, didn't click please, there we go. This is slightly below the 50% retracement, as CZR's was above the 50% retracement. So this is going to be a lot of overhead resistance, not support. It has to get a little bit more momentum to be able to push through that $21-ish price target here. So we're going to create an alert here. So if this is able to push through this level, basically $21, and print above it or close above it with the 21 support kind of helping it ride it up, this would be another great trade idea for sure. Second to last one is Las Vegas Sands. Again, this one is going to not be performing as hot as the other two due to the fact of it's nowhere near 50% retracement. It's below the 21. The parabolic SAR is printing below it again. So not all stocks are created equal. Doesn't mean if it's in a gambling or casino stock, throw your money away kind of stock, this is still behind or lagging or not performing as well as the other ones that we just talked about. Mind you, the fact of it's well below the retracements that we just looked at. On the monthly chart, it hasn't really been that much change, to be quite honest. It's looking like a potential range of $80 to like $40 for basically years. This looks a lot like MGM, where it had a super high in 08 and then came crashing down, and then took 1 to 3 years basically to kind of recover to some extent. But again, it still hasn't got, it's barely just tapped its 50% retracement. I'm going to be pretty sure there's going to be like the 50% retracement right there. So let's go take a quick looky here. Yeah. So this is around the 50% retracement. It's failed the 50% retracement for some time. So this is going to be basically a combination of what I talked about in my previous video about the airline stocks. Like everyone's like, oh, Delta and United used to trade at $80, are going back to 80. No, I think they might be just getting up to 50% of that. So your Delta would maybe just go to like 40 potentially, due to the fact of this huge switch and change in the economy and the structure of way things are working. That being said, this is my opinion. On the weekly chart, again, this is very weak. It's well below the 5 and the 8 exponential moving average. It's trying to push higher with the squeeze here, but momentum's flat and going down. Same with RSI, and the Chaikin money flow is seeing no love there. Last is one of the bigger ones that I hear a lot about, and you can kind of see I have a couple price targets up here. It looks like because I wanted to trade this way back in the day, and this has been a crazy day. Looking at some Fibonacci retracements here. Yeah, so this is kind of where I had my initial alert to see if it breaks above the 50% retracement. Here, again, nowhere near it. It's kind of hovering in around the 21, well below the 200 exponential moving average here on the daily chart. Again, that's going to be kind of lined up probably with the resistance around 108 potentially. But we just need to see this guy kind of start to kind of recover here. It closed below the 21. It looks like the 8's trying to cross through the 21, which we know that's not the world's greatest sign. It's not too close. It's pretty close to it, but it hasn't crossed yet. This could recover, but with the parabolic SAR dots above it, this could push it down slightly for a potential kind of writing down the 30 or the 50 simple moving average, which is this little red teal line here, kind of writing that down here. Hopefully this kind of starts correcting out, leveling off potentially, and to see on how WYNN can recover from there. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Actually, I do want to show one more thing here. This looks super interesting on the monthly chart. For you can kind of see here that this has been pretty beaten up. Even in this didn't even hit. So a lot of the ones we talked about in 08, 09, it was their top, and it kind of came crashing down. But WYNN, for some reason, I don't know how they did it. I don't know much about the casino business, where they made a V-shaped bottom, coming back up, hitting the top where they were at, then kind of coming back down, and then busting out to all-time highs in 14, where a lot of the other casino stocks did hit their high for the past couple years, but not their all-time high. So WYNN had an all-time high up here. So this is a pretty good performer in the sense of once it starts recovering, that this has shown significantly more strength than the other folks that we talked about. I don't know if they're just well diversified, they just know how to manage things better, properties, and how they legislate things out and run things, but it just shows that in the chart that this has been an outperformer, but this could be a potential lagger, and the lack of a movement is just showing that it could spool up and for a big move. We'll see. I got my alerts out when I like to trade it. More or less, or more importantly, recap, we want to look at basically Caesars. This is not Little Caesars Pizza, this is Caesars Entertainment. So this would be a trading idea that I would be looking at. Again, guys, second time doing an outro. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and also down in the description box we have an awesome Discord chat where we talk about stocks, economies, and things like that. We have a live stream coming out that's Sunday, so tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then we have a wonderful opportunity to support the channel and also learn things on me sharing some of my charts, more in depth, sharing some more watch list and some indicators, explanations if you join the Patreon, and then some exclusive polls and other videos and things like that. So that's all in the description below. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Ken from the Dyslexic Investor, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.